like 100 feet from the waves. Then they have an outdoor bar in a section with lounge chairs.
That's good if you like being there. Yeah.
You just go and sit there and enjoy the beach. Or you can sit indoors too. It's like a bistro kind of restaurant, so it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting because we have been a lot of folks looking for a place to eat on the lake.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's not easy to find. It's the only one I've ever seen. I mean, there's some that are like much further back, but you don't necessarily have a nice view. I mean, it's right there on the beach. It's unusual. You go into Grand Haven, you go around the curve, you go past the state park, county park, some condos, and then there it is. We discovered it some years ago, and it's nice. Yeah, so you should try it.
I
guess so.
Yes, you are.
Just sitting right there next to you.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. Come on in. Come on in.
You just put your stuff over on the side.
I think I am.
You can put your luggage over on the side.
Yeah.
I mean, you're spending the night here, Julie.
You guys still kicking?
Good. Okay.
Believe it?
That's amazing.
I know. I'm so excited. I mean, we started so
She says that she's been coming off and on.
jumps up on the bed, jumps up on the all those
She's
chairs
still
help me.
doing
Yes.
She's really good at it, what I hear.
Well, she's
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
I've never had allergies.
It says 403 on maybe we can just do a recording or bring my computer and you can do that section sitting. We can do it on Zoom and make an MP4 so we don't have to get
I just feel, water, one of those salt packets.
Yeah.
That's what I normally do, just like.
I mean, you can use table salt, I guess, but I don't know. The salt packets, I think, have some difference. Just like 5 minutes.
So, okay. No, that's good to know. Thank you.
Miss you.
We're filled with musical talent.
left in the kitchen?
Everyone's in the kitchen
I don't think so.
eating.
Welcome everyone to this fellowship service this afternoon. On this beautiful, beautiful autumn day, I was driving down Turner Street, and those yellow trees with the sunlight hitting them are just beyond beautiful. Something to be really grateful for, right? Before we get started, I want to say there's something that I have been visioning for probably over 4 years. And today it's happened, and I just want to turn your attention to the fact that Barb Seiler is with us this Sunday. And I won't look over there too much or I will cry, Barb. We're so happy to have you with us. I mean, it's like a milestone, and I just can't even, words are not coming to me about how much I appreciate you being here with us today. And on this final or concluding 40th anniversary celebration Sunday. So it's especially wonderful to have you with us. So I want to welcome you all. Welcome all those who are watching virtually or who might watch later after the service sometime in the following week or weeks. We appreciate all of you being with us as well. So let's stand if you can, if you're able, and sing our opening song, Prayer of the Child of Love. It's on the front of your songbook.
Father, Mother God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally. Every day, in every way, amen. Every day, I will pray again. Father God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally. Everywhere, let love be there. Amen. Everywhere again. Father, Mother God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally.
Thank you, and please be seated. Just a quick reminder that there's a contact card, a comment card in your bulletin package that you can use to write someone's name or some situation or condition that you might like for us to pray for in community later in the service. So please be thinking about that and filling that out, and later when the basket comes around, just put it right in the basket, and we'll have your prayer request. So now I'd like to invite you to close your eyes. And let's come into this present moment, this precious now, body, mind, and spirit. Let's relax a moment. Let's take our 3 deep fellowship breaths with an audible ah to just release all the stress of the day. Breathing in and out. Breathing in. Breathe in. We bring our full attention to the one divine presence, the love, the all that is. And today, on this final day of celebration, I ask that you all join me in a prayer of gratitude for our fellowship for today. We feel such deep, deep gratitude for those edge walkers, those original founding members who had the vision and the dedication to nurture the fellowship through the years. And all those who have served throughout these 40 years. Our ministers, our steering committee members, office administrators, prayer team members, SIVA team members, and all who have shared food over the years. Our amazing vocalists and musicians and composers. Everyone who has shared their gifts and talents with us in workshops and classes. And everyone who has handed out and cleaned up and moved chairs. To all who have opened their minds and hearts to the flow of divine love, spreading the message of the fellowship by learning and living love. To those who reach out to others in kindness and compassion. We are so grateful to you all for your devotion, dedication, and your fellowship. May the fellowship for today look back 40 years from now in gratitude to you all. And together we say, and so it is. And what a beautiful day, too, to have with us on this concluding celebration Sunday, our beautiful, beautiful Winnie Zeeb. And she's going to be performing with Corey Williams.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Corey. We have chosen a selection we've shared previously entitled Beckoning by an amazing, what I call, artist from the land of Australia, Murray Kyle. Deep in my heart, there's a pulse that's beating. Deep in the heart, there's a wall crumbling down. Deep in my heart, a river flowing beats as a drum calling to all. Deep in the heart, there's a pulse that's beating. Deep in the heart, there's a wall crumbling down. Deep in the heart, a river flowing beats as a drum calling to all. Deep in the heart, you're a beckoning call. Deep in the heart, fire flame lighting all. Come now, come home, why come home? Never alone, you are never alone. Deep in the heart, you're a beckoning call. Deep in the heart, fire flame lighting all. Come now, come home, why come home? Never alone, you are never alone. Hard as a drum, pulsing in a prayer. Hard as a river, that we'll find our way. And it's a heart that has always been beating. It's the heart of a lion conquering fear. Deep in the heart, fire flame lighting all. Come now, come home, why come home? Never alone, you are never alone. Deep in the heart, you a beckoning call. Deep in the heart, fire flame lighting all. Come now, come home, why come home? Never alone, you are never alone. Hard as a fire, chanting a flame, burning eternal and shall always remain. Hard as an eagle, soaring on high, feathered in a love with wings open wide. Deep in the heart, you a beckoning call. Deep in the heart, fire flame lighting all. Come now, come home, why come home? Never alone, you are never alone. Deep in the heart, you a beckoning call. Deep in the heart, fire flame lighting all. Come now, come home, why come home? Never alone, you are never alone. Never alone, you are never alone.
so much, Winnelie and Corey. We're going to sing a fellowship song together now. It's on page 44. So let's get there. This is one of those songs that really, really speaks to what the fellowship is, who the fellowship is. So please stand if you're able and sing with us The Rest of My Life.
The rest of my life is just beginning. The rest of my life will start today. I'm choosing this moment of my life to start the changes that will bring happiness and peace of mind to stay. I'm releasing the past with all its errors. The future will bring what I desire. And as I flow along with life, I'll learn the way to live the rest of my life. I'll live in love. My divine plan is now being revealed. I've opened myself to change and grow. I'm attracting the people in my life whom I'll be serving, and who will teach me lessons that I need to grow. The rest of my life I'll live with laughter, enjoying each moment of each hour. And as the changes come, I'll learn about the way to live the rest of my life. I'll live in love.
And before you sit down, please take a moment to greet each other and give each other a hug.
I shouldn't have done that. Sorry.
That was a really lovely,
It always is.
lovely one. So many people here. Thank you. I just also want to point out that I left on all of your chairs a laminated copy of our fellowship guiding principles. But this was also a good Sunday to just give this to everybody in a format that they can have and keep nice and have at the ready anytime they need to look at it. So as I said earlier, this concludes our 40th anniversary celebrations, and we really have had a wonderful month. We've welcomed a new guest speaker, Monk Brian Lamont. We've celebrated music and our wonderful vocalists and musicians, and Corey Williams. Thank you again so much. And we've spent a Sunday service focusing on community and this wonderful community that was founded 40 years ago and continues on. This Sunday, the theme is spiritual nourishment. And yes, it did have to do with a pun since today is Potluck Sunday. But we're going to be thinking about the teachings and the experiences that we've gleaned through the fellowship that have nourished us and that have made changes in our lives, that have impacted our lives. I said last time that our fellowship has given us the opportunity to learn and grow and navigate our lives, our human lives, in a way that increases our peace and love and joy on this planet. And it gives us an opportunity to deepen and expand our connection with the God of our hearts. So I thought, what better way than to ask all of you, those here and those watching virtually, we'd like to ask you, what are those teachings, what are those experiences that have impacted your life, that fellowship has brought to you? If you're watching online, you can just write something in the comments and we'll try to see if we can read some of those. But I'm going to get this mic over here. Are we on? Yes, yes. And ask for volunteers. Be brave. I know that you all have something to share, so I will try to get my way as close to you as possible. Just raise your hand if you would. Lucille?
Can I speak from
You certainly can.
this Reverend?
Reverend Lucille Olson.
Hello, friends.
Hi, Lucille.
I was around in those days when they originally started the fellowship, and although I wasn't one of the decision makers, I can give you some of my impressions of what went on. After Amalia Frank left Unity for her new job in Washington, D.C., I think many of the people who had been attending her services felt bereft. They were lost without their beloved leader, and they wanted to maintain that community and keep it going. And so they formed this group called Fellowship for Today. Originally, they began with bringing in big-name speakers to bring in a big crowd. But ultimately, that wasn't sustainable because of the cost. So they had to go create a plan B. And they've tried, like any new organization, they've tried a number of different things over the years. I think that because there was no minister, there was an army of volunteers that kept things going, that arranged for every Sunday meeting, and the group kept connected through their small groups. There was mastermind groups and Course in Miracles groups, and somehow they managed to get together on Sundays then to communicate. Excuse me. Eventually, they created the ministerial program as a way of promoting spiritual growth that was focused and really to bring a strength to the organization. And as we all know, spiritual growth requires hard work and dedication. We have to heal ourselves first. We have to become aware of our ego's machinations and to become aware of our unkind thoughts and let those go. And we have to become aware of our judgmentalness and let that go. And we have to become aware of our attachments and let them go. So that's a lot of work. And you have to be dedicated, and it requires vigilance on your part to keep observing yourself and where you are in your consciousness. So Fellowshipians know that we're not perfect, but we're on the road to greater understanding and spiritual awareness. So I would just like to say that now I look at the fellowship as like an oasis in the desert. It's a place where you can go, where they'll greet you with a smile, and you're accepted. You feel accepted, and you're not expected to be anything but who you are. It's a safe space where there's open for learning and growth. And what's not to love about that, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucille. Thank you so much. Who else would? Oh, Rose. Can you maybe come up? I'm not sure how far I can get back.
I don't have all these beautiful words that Lucille had.
I agree with all of them, and I would like to add that what I like is that I know almost everybody. And if I don't know you, I get to meet you and get acquainted. So that there's that feeling of belonging.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you. Can you come over here, Barbara?
I was at another church when I became aware of the fellowship, and in my seeking and longing to fill this emptiness that was inside of me, I gradually moved over to being here on a regular basis. And what I find here is demonstration of what we believe, what the fellowship principles are. And that really drew me in. I know that I can always turn to someone here that has gone before me on a particular subject, and there'll be learning there. There'll be growth there for me, and it certainly has been. And I really feel like I've found myself since I've been here. And I just am so appreciative of that. And Lucille, you said it very, very well and in what you expressed. So I'm eternally grateful, and I hope that the energy that we're putting out into the world continues to be the light that people need to have in their lives, and that they'll be drawn here also to live out their spiritual journey in a way that supports them and provides the love that they need in their life.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Barb. I'm going to put this close to your mouth, too.
Oh, okay.
For the people at home.
Okay. spiritual nourishment is, there's nourishment aplenty here, and there's always been that. I can't say much personally before I say thank you to all the musicians. We have so many wonderful songwriters and singers that are here and have been here from day one, and the music here has just been meant so much to me. I don't know exactly what the title was in Hamilton, something about being in the room where it happens. I was one of the 10 people that met in an office in Tommy Rain's building to talk about whether or not we wanted to start a group, a church, a Sunday service. And I think there are only 4 people living now who were part of that original group. We'd wanted to be part of Jack Boland's church, Unity of Today, in Warren, but he did not want to do that. He didn't want that, and he encouraged us to just be on our own, so we called ourselves Fellowship for Today. All the people that were in that meeting were either in a 12-step group or studying A Course in Miracles. That was just happened to be the people that were there that day. And I think I'm the only one here today that was part of that. Norm Plew was there, and Jim Noble. After the first 3 years or so, Maxine, my partner, and I fell away from Fellowship, and I didn't come back for about 20-some years. But we had started out in a study group of Course in Miracles with Beth Monteith, Gary Novak, and Phyllis Nix, and other people. And from the very first day that we bought the set of books and we went to that group and started reading, I felt that the words, the way they were written and everything, what was being talked about, it really resonated for me. And it somehow had a connection to the 12-step principles I'd learned in those kind of meetings also. And even though I never picked up the book in those 20 years, I took away from having studied a little bit there for the first year or so with them the idea of judgment. And Lucille mentioned that right away. I found out that if I could learn to spot when I was having negative judgment, whether it was fear, anger, despair, disappointment, whatever it was, if I could identify that, I knew. And I had learned at a 12-step workshop one Saturday, a forgiveness process of seeing the other person across the room from me, whoever I was upset with, or the situation, like for example, the war in Ukraine, seeing something like that and finding a way, Holy Spirit, help me see this another way, to forgive what I was seeing. And then, in some instances, to forgive myself for the hardness of heart that I had held. And that was then followed by true forgiveness, which is forgiving the idea we could ever be separated from God. And after that, it was extending love, extending light to the situation, back to myself, my neighborhood, my city, state, the universe, and so forth. And that practice, that just small, simple, few-step practice stayed with me, and I used it all the years I was absent from Fellowship. And then I came back in 2006 after my partner passed, and I love Fellowship. So glad to be here with you guys today. Thanks.
Bill?
Hi. I moved to East.
Oh.
Do I need a mic? Okay. I moved to East Lansing from Ann Arbor in 1993. In Ann Arbor, I was involved in Unity of Ann Arbor. I was a youth ed director there for a few years, that sort of thing. I came up here and I started going to Unity in Lansing. And they had great music there. Lucille was a big reason for that. But I didn't really feel at home there. And then somebody told me about Fellowship. So around 1995 or so, I visited Fellowship at the UU Church over in East Lansing. Beth was the minister then, of course, and I don't know what the word is. I was caught, or whatever. I was in, because her messages were so engaging and personal, which I did not find in other places. And then the music was just as great, maybe even greater at Fellowship, and always has been. So after a couple of years in Fellowship, Beth asked me to speak, and I was used to speaking. I speak in workplaces all the time, but I had never spoken in a spiritual community. So I agreed to speak, feeling imposter syndrome and that I wasn't qualified, but I did it anyway. So I got up there. We had maybe 70, 80 people per Sunday would show up. But you never know, Fellowship could be very quirky back then. We had some very quirky characters involved. And one of them was a woman named Elise Harvey. When I got up to speak, I was just about to start my talk, which I was very nervous about, and Elise Harvey calls out in a very loud voice, "Let's all howl like dogs." And so everybody started going, "Oh!" The whole place erupted like dogs. That was a thing back then. And so I'm standing there frozen. But eventually the howling stopped and I was able to do my talk. So that was my introduction to speaking in front of spiritual groups. Yeah. So I did serve on the steering committee for several years for Fellowship. And it was always great to be part of the whole organization. Fast forward to recent years, we had the whole COVID thing. We were shut down. It was just online, and then we came back. I don't know when it was. Was it 2022, 2021?
2022.
Thank you. Maybe around February then? Yeah, I was slow to come back for a lot of different reasons. But this year, actually the last several months, I've been coming a lot more. And I think I told you last week, Barry, that it's become much more meaningful to me. And I feel a strong sense of community here and a lot of love. I like to say I'm here for the hugs, but it's not getting hugs, it's giving them. Giving them, because in giving them, I automatically receive. But it's just the affection and the love I feel here. And also the bonus is the music and the message and those kinds of things. It just feels really great here. And I appreciate that this is the kind of organization where I've never experienced gossip. In all the years I've come here, that people at least I haven't heard people telling stories about other people. That we just let people be who they are here. And I appreciate that very much. I think that's important. So, thank you for listening.
Jean.
This is such a holy thing. You know,
This is from Julie Friege. Oh, here we go. The upbeat, inspiring music and readily available books drew me into the fellowship, and I immediately felt the need to be more involved with my new spiritual family. I was given the opportunity to fulfill this need with a new bookstore, like you mentioned, Jean. A coordinator was needed. I eagerly accepted the bookstore responsibilities. Thus, within a few weeks of the first visit, my devotion to this extraordinary group began. And then, since I love music, I have participated in an enthusiastic way in the music projects and activities at the fellowship, from helping to recreate our songbooks, to choir participation, to serving on the music committees. And our amazing songs have become prayers, affirmations, and meditations that have contributed so much to my daily routines. Many mornings, I'll start singing one of these inspirational songs, which lifts my spirits and prepares me for the day at hand. That's lovely. Yeah. Maybe you have more people? Or?
Actually, I think we're running out of time.
Okay,
So
well then
I was just gonna say, if anybody has something they would really like to share, if you would email it to me or the fellowship office, we can put some of these in the e-announcements coming up this next Tuesday. I would love to do that. So I would love to include anybody who hasn't had a chance today. So,
Mary, I want to just say one more thing. Don't be afraid to mention fellowship to others and invite them. That's how Mary got here. That's how Corey got here.
Yeah.
So we can continue to grow without share.
Yes. Okay. And I would like to talk, but I would probably be up here for a few hours. So I will, but this has been home. And I just heard this from Melissa, her first visit last week. And it was, I'll just say, when I first came here, I just truly felt like I was home. And that feeling is just, there are no words for that. And I do want to just take a moment to honor our Reverend Mary Sabai, our spiritual director, for over 8 years. And she is so good at lifting others. She does so much with such heart and deep care from the ministry, school. I've just witnessed these acts of love that she has done for years, over 8 years. And I'm just feel so blessed to be one of the students in the ministry class and have her as a teacher, mentor, friend. And I know everyone here feels that way as well. So we have just a small token of our appreciation. Yeah. And you can talk more afterwards with Mary.
thank you so much. Thank you. And I feel the same way that Beth might.
Yeah. Whoops. I'm going to be in trouble. And the other very important person to recognize is Samantha. Samantha, who I don't even know what title to say. She does so many amazing jobs here and with such creativity and just great care, and just so thankful for all the work that she does. So I will give her the card because I know she doesn't want to come up here. So this is for our Samantha. Samantha, good morning.
Absolutely, Samantha. I was just going to quickly say, I feel exactly like Beth Monteith when she said, I receive more. by being here and being with you all. It's just a gift. We're going to move on, get grounded again here. And this is the time in our service when we stop and fill our hearts with gratitude for all of the abundance and blessings in our lives. And just as much as anything else, any other gifts and service that anyone has given here at the fellowship, your generous donations mean just as much. It helps us to keep going and move on with our office and our space here, and to be able to do the things that we do. So please know how appreciated your donations are. I know that many of you donate online. John's going to be coming around with the basket. So please put your prayer cards in the basket if you have something. And hold your gifts in consciousness if you're not preparing them right now and putting them in the basket. Because every donation through a fundraiser, every extra amount of money that you've given during the holidays is all so much needed and so appreciated. And as John is finishing up, please pull out your bulletin. And I invite you to read with me the blessing of our tithes and offerings. The light of divine love shines eternally, blessing and multiplying our tithes and offerings. I joyously give, knowing I always have enough to share and to spare. Thank you so much. Thank you, John. Let's please take a moment to close our eyes again and go within. And focus on the beautiful divine beings whose names are in this basket this afternoon. And let us pray for them affirmatively, knowing that they are on their way to finding exactly what they need. Clarity and wisdom are theirs. And for health issues, we see them as healthy and whole. Every one of these beautiful beings is one with all of us. And we know that our love finds its way into the heart of each one. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. We're just going to have to take a deep breath and know that we're going over today. I'd love to sing our fellowship song because it is our prayer for the fellowship, and we sing it once a year on our anniversary, during our anniversary month. It's on page 33. It was written by Max Raines and Bob Ranger and Tommy Raines, and it's just lovely. So please, if you are able, stand and sing with us.
Holy Spirit, be in charge of this moment as we open our hearts and our lives to your love and direction. Let our lives be joined as one as we listen to God's will in the unfoldment of our fellowship. All we want is the peace of God. We seek His will today. Holy Spirit, be in charge of this moment as we open our hearts and our lives to your love and direction. Let our lives be joined as one as we listen to God's will in the unfoldment of our fellowship. All we want is the peace of God. We seek His will today.
There. Ooh, so much harmony in the home here. It's just lovely. And I would love Corey to introduce this song.
This is the song. It's a song that was given to me. I don't really have much to say about it. Let's just do it.
Corey created it, wrote it. And I'm grateful. I wanna bring peace. I wanna give love. I want to fill the empty spaces. I want to mend the broken places. I want to spread joy. I want to show grace. I want to grow a unity. I want to be the harmony. I'm just one voice. I'm just one heart. But one voice and one heart strong. I lift my voice, I share my heart. Won't you join with me and weave with me in a brand new song as we entwine our separate melodies. They synergize and form a whole new theme. We're so much more than just two voices. When we sing together, love makes three. And love joins all humanity, so we can truly be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Now we can repair. Now we can renew. We can bridge the distant spaces. We can heal the hurting places. Now we can reach out. We can draw in. We can forgive and set love free. We can be the harmony with every voice, with every heart. We're another heart song strong. We lift our voices, we share our hearts. One big instrument of peace to which all tunes belong.
as we entwine our separate melodies. They synergize and form a whole new theme. We're so much more than just our voices. When we sing together, love flows free. In tuning all humanity, so we can truly be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony in every situation. Be the harmony, a divine orchestration. Be the harmony in chaos and cacophony. Be the harmony, the resolution of the dissonance so perfectly as we entwine our separate melodies. They synergize and form a whole new theme. We're so much more than just our voices. When we sing together, love flows free. One universal symphony where we can truly be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Be the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. We can be the harmony. Corey Williams.
That was a beautiful and perfect final song. Thank you, Winnelie and Corey. I want to thank all of you for being here to celebrate with us, and all of you virtually as well. And I look forward to seeing you as we move into our 41st year, starting next Sunday. Some quick announcements. Reverend Sue Quinn said that she will be doing the Waldemar Walk at the Waldemar Nature Center Sunday, October 1st, 12:30 in the parking lot. They meet up. Our class, What is New Thought, is starting this next Tuesday. Please let me know if you're planning to attend. And we also want to remind everyone again about Rob Kurtner's Celebration of Life, Saturday, September 30th, 1:30 p.m. at the St. David's Episcopal Church. That's on Elmwood Road. We also want to remind everyone that there's a potluck waiting for us after we finish here. And let's join in our big peace circle and say our closing blessing. Thanks again for a beautiful 40 years.
with